Hi, my name is Clinton Erling, and I'm the president of the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce and Industry. The Chamber's Business Review is an informative weekly television magazine of the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce and Industry. We will showcase the activities of the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce and Industry, feature interviews of prominent business personalities, and broadcast our popular training seminars for the entire country's benefit. So please sit back and enjoy while we indulge your attention over the next half an hour.
Mr. Ercell Charles, Vice President of Training, Dale Carnegie of Atlanta. Mr. E. De Armas, Director of Training, Dale Carnegie, Guyana. Members of the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce and Industry, other guests and participants, a pleasant good morning to you. We at the Georgetown Chamber take great pleasure in hosting this important workshop geared at dramatically increasing your leadership effectiveness and your team's performance. I am Vishnu Durga, and I welcome you formally to today's session. In Guyana, we are blessed with an abundance of natural resources. The key factor required to benefit from these natural resources is the human aspect. Without the capable and committed workforce, we will continue to experience poor levels of efficiency and effectiveness. The 2013 GCCI attitudinal survey indicated that in terms of the major obstacles of doing business in Guyana, 42% of our participating members identified keeping good employees as the most disadvantageous factor. Since the attitudinal survey reflects the perceptions of employers in general, I'm hopeful that today's workshop may alter this occasionally uninformed viewpoint by highlighting the role that we as leaders need to play in order to not only retain but to develop our valuable human resources. Employee engagement, in my opinion, seeks to build the understanding, capacity, and performance of us and our employees. Aligning employee with company goals will result in a win-win structure for all involved, as today's consumers expect superior services and will readily shun entities where employees are not committed. We at the Georgetown Chamber are committed to supporting the development of our national human resource pool by hosting regular training seminars such as these, by airing enlightening TV programs, and by disseminating information among other initiatives. We welcome this investment by Dale Carnegie Training, as we welcome your participation this morning and encourage each and every one of you to examine, adapt, and implement the strategies and techniques that will be shared with you. I would now like to call on the Managing Director of Dale Carnegie Guyana, Mr. Alfonso De Armas, who is a graduate of the DeGroote School of Business at McMaster University in Ontario, Canada, and a certified Dale Carnegie Corporate Solutions Trainer. Mr. De Armas, thank you.
So I'm sure many of you have heard of Dale Carnegie. The company started in 1912. We just celebrated our 101st year anniversary last year. This infographic is outdated. Guyana is actually the 91st country that we have offices in. Offices in every state, United States, all over North America, Kazakhstan, Mongolia, global. We have over 8 million graduates over the little more than a century that we've been around. And we're moving and changing with the times. Those of you who have Blackberries and iPhones, we actually have an app that you guys can download just to know more about what we do and to help you guys in your organizations. So our coaches, people like Ercell, like myself, like my team at the back, we are all business professionals who have extensive business experience. We're all certified by an ISO 9001-2000 quality assurance process. That includes 250 hours of in-house development. And we, in Guyana, we're going to begin working in two main spheres. which is customized corporate solutions. We'll talk about that in a while. And we also have public programs. So that's time, space, courses, and seminars to help align the hearts as well as the minds of employees with organizational objectives. So we work with you guys to come up with a plan, see where you guys want to go, and help you get there. So this is the way that we work with you guys. It's your organization's strategic vision, the should be as opposed to the as is, right? Once we've gotten that, and we work with you, we have a strategic conversation with you to understand really where the operation is today and where you want to take it and what needs to change for you to get there. So through assessments, surveys, and a unique BID business improvement discussion, we determined the alignment around the vision, your organization's vision. And we will pick up on any competency gaps that exist and that need to be closed, and attitudes that are undermining change, positive change. Next is probably one of the more important parts, is the innovation process. So we design interventions that support your strategic intent, provide measurable results, and map directly to the competencies that were identified that needed to be changed in our inquiry process. But that's not all. Once we've done all this, our organization or the way that we work, we seek to ingrain long-term behavior and gain emotional and intellectual engagement with corporate objectives, right? So we don't go into your company and tell you, oh, this is what you need to do, this is what you need to do. You tell us what your company wants, what you want your company to look like, and we work with you to get there. So team member engagement, which is what this seminar is based on. Leadership development, very important. I'm sure all of you are leaders in your organization. Sales effectiveness. If you don't sell, then go back. Customer service, very important. Presentation effectiveness and process improvement. Now, our training methodology is really unique. See, most training companies would, deliver a presentation, a lecture, and that's it. So your employees, they benefit from a 3-hour seminar almost like this. There's some knowledge that they gain, but then they don't learn how to implement it. They don't practice it. They don't make it a part of their organization. It's all left in a notebook or a manual that they receive. The way we work is we have something called coaching in the moment. So our coaches are continually working during and after training to ensure that it becomes a skill. Because the practice part takes the knowledge to skill or performance improvement, right? And that's how we work. So with we have our set of proprietary tools that we work with to ensure that everyone is aware of the need to improve performance, right? Once we ensure that everyone has the right attitude, then we work on the knowledge. In seminar fashion, in a public class fashion, or in an in-house training fashion. And while we're doing that, we're ensuring that you guys get the requisite practice. Change to take the knowledge that you're getting to a skill of performance improvement. Well, that's pretty much it. Dale Carnegie is a company that has locations in 91 countries, and we work extensively with 400 actually of Fortune 500 companies. And well, these are some of them. We have some John Deere in Guyana, Giant Food, Waste Markets, Urban Engineering. There's Green Mountain Coffee. These are just some testimonials from companies that you probably haven't heard of yet.
First of all, I want to thank all of you all for having me come from Atlanta to your warm and gracious state and country. Back home in Atlanta, it is 22 degrees and they're expecting snow. So I'm not excited about going back quite yet. I like to chill out in this nice, beautiful weather with the warm people I've met and just get the chance to just take in this beautiful country and the beautiful people. So I'm excited about being here. Like Alfonso said, that our program is not just to tell you about engagement, it's to have you participate in engagement. And what we're going to work on today is to give you some insights when it comes to employee engagement, and at the same time, to have you experience what a Dale Carnegie training session may look like. Is that okay? Is that okay? Yes. All right, now I heard this is a fun country. All right, so it's a fun mission. We're going to have fun. We're going to have fun, and at the same time, we're going to really take a look at why employee engagement is important and how smart leaders create employee engagement. I personally believe that leadership is the cornerstone and the foundation of every successful company. The rise and fall of any great organization falls on its ability to lead its people. And employee engagement becomes critical to that impact. So we're going to talk about some things. I'm going to have you participate. It's not going to be just here me pontificating what I know. And by the way, that's my only big word, pontificate. I'm done. Just so that we could have a feeling for what employee engagement look like. But if it's okay, we'd like to start with just exercise, if you will. We do many exercises in Dale Carnegie just to get people relaxed and getting ready for the opportunity we're going to talk about. Now, I know we have standing room only and seating room only, and we're really packed in here, but I'm still asking everyone to participate. In a moment, I'm going to ask you to, if you can, stand, to stand. If you can't, don't worry about it. But I want you to just greet the person to your left and the right, and to your right, in a moment. The first time you're going to greet these individuals, you're going to greet them, welcome them, shake their hands, as though they're not very important. For some of us, that might be quite easy to do. For others, that's going to be very difficult for you to do, but it doesn't matter. So just going to introduce yourself like you're looking for someone more important. And after we do that, I'm going to ask you to go back, and then go back and greet yourself again, but this time, greet yourself with to this person as they are the most important person in the room. Okay? So the first half, we're going to shake everybody's hands as though they're what? Not very important. Then when I say switch, you're going to shake everybody's hands as though they're what? The most and really important person in the room. All right? Everyone please stand. Let's try to stand. Let's try to stand. Shake their hands as though they're not very important. That's it. That's it. That's it. You guys are having too much fun. All right. Now, shake every person's hand as though they're the most important person in the room. All right, thank you. Please have your seats. All right, nice. Way to go, way to go. So first of all, let's debrief the exercise. What was the first half like? Cold, matter of fact, yeah, very hard. Really hard to meet and greet someone that manner. And unfortunately, sometimes we find ourselves that way, right? Many times we have other things on the top of our mind. Many times we're thinking someone else. And a fellow coworker may just follow us and ask us if everything's okay. Right? So unfortunately that happens at times, and we really don't connect with people. And it may impact their engagement. But what was the second half like? A lot more enthusiastic, fun. I thought I saw a couple of high fives and some chest bumps. No, maybe I didn't. So let me ask you all, beside me asking you to do this, what changed? Our attitude changed. Yes, your attitude changed. So here's what we believe. With a change of attitude, it could lead to a change of outcome. Our ability to embrace engagement may be as simple as us just changing our attitudes on how we view and see our workers. So we're going to go through this workshop and go through some concepts that we've identified within Dale Carnegie Associates for what really creates employee engagement. And we'll go through it as well. So first, I want everyone to take a look at this video.
Good evening, folks. Welcome aboard Southwest Airlines Flight 372, service to Oklahoma City. Those of you that have flown us before know that we do things a little bit differently here on Southwest. Some of us tell jokes, some of us sing, some of us just stand there and look beautiful. I, unfortunately, can do none of those. So here's the one thing that I do know how to do. We're going to shake things up a little bit. I need a little audience participation Otherwise, this is not going to go over well at all. So here's what I need, especially you guys in the front, because you know what's coming. All right, I need a beat. All right. All I need you to do is stop and clap, and I'm going to do the rest because I just.
All right, we're a little technical difficult. Well, there'll be no stumping or clapping. What usually happens in this video, and I'll just tell you what happens. What happens is that he does a rap. And there's three types of people on the plane. There's the people who are clapping and stumping with him, who's really excited. And then there's people who's like, this dude has to be out of his mind, who's really not engaged. And there's others who are just like, can you get this over with? Don't really care. So the video's kind of froze for a second, and we won't worry about it, but the whole point is, when you look at the video, it parallels what happens in our organization. Every morning we get up, you have people who are excited about being there and really connected with engagement. Then there's other individuals there who, you know, I'll just do what I need to do. And then there's a third group of people, unfortunately, who's just there to get the paycheck. In fact, they're never on time, but when it's time to make the check, they're the first person you see. So it shows, this video kind of showing that kind of situation. So what do we do about that? How do we really embrace that and make that happen where we want people to be engaged? So this program is in fact, how many have seen this? We're breaking up means different things over the last 20 years. When someone said we're breaking up 20, 30 years ago, what did it mean? Yeah, admit it, it's over. You got a Dear John or a Dear Jane letter, and someone's telling you we're breaking up and it's over, no more relationship. Now we're breaking up means we have a bad connection or a bad laptop that's not working. Something that's not working effectively. So what this means, with the advent of technology, we're finding that staying connected is even more difficult. So I want to talk about that. So Dale, like to what Alfonso said, Dale Carnegie has been in the engagement business for over 100 years. We didn't know what to quite call it. We used to call it soft skills, people skills, leadership influencing skills, but really what we're involved in is engagement skills. It's kind of like the stars have aligned and kind of said that, okay, Dale Carnegie been doing this for 100 years, now it's time for the world to know exactly how to engage their people. This Black book was the very first book he wrote in 1912, Dale Carnegie. How many of us have read the book, How to Influence and Influence People? Okay, so I'm going to recommend everyone to find, it should be, if you're a leader, and I've heard it said that leaders are readers, right? Ever heard that? Leaders are readers? That you identify the book. Now, I don't get a commission for promoting the book, but I believe if you look at most significant and successful people, the How to Influence and Influence People book is a must-have in their leadership criteria. So one of the benefits of having Dale Carnegie of Guyana is that you will have not just the books and the materials, but also the skills. You'll be able to enhance the skills and capabilities that go along with the book. Now in 2010, we wrote another book called How to Influence and Influence People in the Digital Age. We commissioned this book because we felt it was really important to have people understand how with technology we're breaking up, how to stay connected with a new group of our people that's coming in the workplace, such as millennials and other technology wizards and individuals who are coming in and embracing that in an organization as well. So we've been doing this since 1912, and we're excited about it, and we believe our methodology we're going to talk about today is going to really help us move through this. So what does an engaged employee look like? Here's what I want us to do. Just speak with the people to your left and to your right, maybe groups of twos or threes, and just simply answer the question, what does an engaged employee look like? All right, with your teams, please go.
How long do you have to do that? Just a couple of minutes. Just get a little and get on my
Okay, let's just get some responses. I know this was quick, but just to get some responses, what were some of the things you said that you felt that an engaged employee looked like? Let's hear from some of you. All right, enthusiastic. So enthusiastic, they feel excited about going to the job. What else?
Interested.
Interested. They're interested and engaged in terms of what they need to do and how they need to do it. What else?
Motivated and aware.
They motivated. They motivated. They're self-started. Now, you know, we truly can't motivate people, but we can inspire people to become motivated, right? And when they're motivated, they're willing to share their ideas. What is the, yes, Jackie? They're committed. Because of their engagement, they have a sense of commitment to the organization and the cause. Now, you want employees like that. You want people who don't come to work just expecting to get something without getting something. You want people who come into the job because they feel there's a sense of purpose and a sense of mission to everything that they do. So that's why engagement is important. Now, our organizations have taken I call it the cycle. Most organizations started with, let's create the best product possible. We're going to create this product or service that we offer is far better reaching than any other product out there. So we worked on improving our products. And it became very competitive in doing that. So we went from creating a great product to doing a great process. We felt we could improve our processes, and we all know what processes are, right? They're things that we do repeatable that gives us predictable results. So we worked on our processes, and we refined our processes to make a better product. Okay? So it didn't stop with that. Then it said, well, let's take care of our customer. So we talked about world-class customer service. Now, how important is customer service in your organization? Extremely important, right? So in anything that we do, if we don't serve our customer appropriately, we will not be in business very long. So companies started looking at, wow, it's really important that we really serve our customers effectively. And we've been able to do that in our organizations. But the most important and possibly the last section we looked at was how we empower our employee. Because doing the product, through the initial process, before we had a product, before we had a process, even before we had a customer, we had an employee. So treating the employee fairly is, to me, I believe the utmost thing we can do, and keeping them engaged is really important. So let's look at this. So we define employee engagement as the emotional and intellectual commitment of employees to deliver high performance. We not only want their intellect and their knowledge and their skills, we also want their emotions. Now, whoever said this is only business, don't take it personal, don't want to engage employee. Now, understand what it means, right? We shouldn't take things personally when people hurt our feelings. We need to be, mature about certain things. Understand in essence, but you want someone to give you not just the intellectual know-how, but also the emotional commitment. Is it easy to say, I'm going to stay enthusiastic or not emotionally involved? Is it easy to stay committed if you're not engaged from an emotional perspective? Oh, let's go play some football, and I'm not going to be too emotionally excited about it. Let me just kick the ball. You don't want anyone on your team who's not, I want to know how to play the game, I want to be involved in the game. Whether you're LeBron James or Usain Bolt. You want to have the capability of really being able to be engaged in what you do. And those two individuals really are engaged emotionally as well as they know the game as well. Now, Kevin Cruz, this guy, I'm going to show you some of his insights here on Forbes magazine. He defined employee engagement as this. The employee engagement is the emotional commitment an employee has to the organization and its goals, resulting in the use of discretionary effort. So the question is, what is discretionary effort? Anyone, what is discretionary effort?
The employee would go above and beyond.
Yeah, it's the above and beyond. It's exactly what it is. Discretionary effort, if I have another task or opportunity to do, if I'm emotionally, intellectually connected, I may use that extra 15 minutes to go above and beyond. Now, they just don't do it because they want to be a good employee. They do it because there's factors that are in place that drive them to do it. we have a culture. As executive leaders, we're responsible for three things. We're responsible for the culture of our organization, what we do, the climate of the organization, how people feel, and the confidence of our people. As leaders, we got to be responsible for the culture, what we do, the climate, how we do it, and then the confidence of people. Do people feel confident enough so that I can give you that discretionary effort? So that's why employee engagement is important, because if you want your very best, we have to create an environment so people can give us that very best. So that's why the definition of employee engagement is important. So it's the simple difference between this, got to and want to. How many people, at times, were in jobs where we felt I've got to do this? I have a lot of people in here telling the truth. No, I want to go to work every day. I'm just excited about going to work every day, right? Oh, I just love waking up at 4 a.m. in the morning, going to work. Well, we all have those situations where we got to do things, and that's okay. And there's opportunities where we want to do things. So engagement means I transition the majority of time feeling like I have to do things, now I have a desire to do things. And you can tell it in your organization, you can tell it in your people, because you're seeing some of the things that you said was most important for your people. So we really need to take a look at this and how this happens in our organization. So I have a quiz. We have 7 items on the board that states to us these things have an impact on employee engagement. Now, we're going to do like a game show. You can only vote once. So when I call out the number and read it, if you think it's important for the most important thing in employee engagement, I want you to raise your hand. If you got to vote twice, you can do it. No, there's no rules. I won't. No, there's no right or wrong. But I'm going to read each one of them up, and if you think this is critical for employee engagement, I want you to raise your hand. How many feel that if an employee has competitive compensation and benefits, it's critical to employee engagement? I'm seeing hands. All right, see some of those hands now. Who read the book before we started doing this class? So don't look at the book. All right, number 2, satisfaction with the immediate manager. I'm seeing that. Okay? In other words, I'm engaged and my manager treats me right. Number 3, support of work-life balance. Wow, and that is becoming, all right, and somebody said that should be number 1. You know, now here's the thing about work-life balance, if I can just add something here. Our generation, older generation, the more senior experienced people in the room, like myself, I'm gonna call us old, more senior, you know, exquisite individuals, we use the term work-life balance. But as millennials and new leaders come into the workplace, the term has shifted. It's called life-work balance. You see, we put work first for the sake of having a life. The new generation of leaders that's coming in the workplace, they put life first, and work is just a mechanism to get there. Now, the reason I say that, because that's so critical to engagement. You have to know what employees want. And it's changed from the old days that I'm going to work for 20, 30 years so I could have a sense of significance. Now, our younger generation, who is bright, who's smart, who's clever, who's engaged, they're engaged on their own terms. So you can't use old skills on new people. There's a problem, you can't put old wine in new wineskins, right? Now, I'm not here to preach yet, but I'm going to just drop that in there. So you got to try things differently to make sure people understand the significance of what engagement looks like. So the 4th one, belief in senior leadership. If you think that's key for employee engagement, raise your hands. Okay? Important. All right? The next one is opportunities for advancement. I'm engaged if you promote me. Okay? All right? Who says pride in your organization? All right? Okay? Yes, you want me to be engaged. I want to feel a sense of pride for what I do. And finally, all right, who says free popcorn in the break room? Me too. Particularly if it's chocolate-covered popcorn. If it's chocolate-covered popcorn, I'm in.